Welcome to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube history. This is Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Share this video all over the entire internet. Now, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of predictions, quite frankly, as it concerns this year's WrestleMania 30 main event. And while we don't quite know for sure what the main event will be going into WrestleMania 30, there are a lot of different scenarios. You got Batista versus Randy Orton, possibly. You have, well, what would have been if CM Punk had not left the company, CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. And while those matches would have definitely been, you know, epic in their own right, although a lot of people will say Batista versus Orton is the last match they would want to see at a WrestleMania, the bottom line is, in the past, Orton and Batista do have chemistry. They have put on some good matches. But in my opinion, if we're talking from a strategic point of view, if you're talking about storyline, if you're talking about the booking and what really makes sense at the end of the day, this should be, without a doubt, the main event, the rightful main attraction of WrestleMania 30. John Cena versus Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the strategy, it writes itself. Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena at SummerSlam. Did John Cena ever get a rematch? No, he didn't. Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan got screwed countless times. But just a couple weeks ago on Raw, Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton in the middle of the ring. Just this Monday night on Raw, Randy Orton got defeated by John Cena. John Cena pinned Orton right in the middle of the ring. So if you're looking at this from a strategic point of view, we know the history between Randy Orton and John Cena. We know what exists between those two. We know the animosity. We know the respect. But we also know the revenge that exists between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan has the number of Randy Orton. And every time Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan have faced off, it has been stellar. It has been off the charts. It has been noteworthy. It has left you on the edge of your seat. But then again, you look at Daniel Bryan going one-on-one with John Cena at SummerSlam, who was hurt, who was banged up, and who was injured. And I'm not coming on here to make any excuses. Daniel Bryan was the better man that night, but you have to wonder what would have happened if it had been Cena versus Bryan one-on-one, with Bryan 100% and John Cena 100%. Now, just listen to me one moment here. Imagine if you take Cena, Bryan, Orton, you put them in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 30 with the lights on bright, with the WWE World Heavyweight title on the line, with everything that is on the line, and with everything that exists, the history, the significance, the strategy, the moment. They will own it. There's no doubt about it. If Orton and Bryan can have a good match, if Cena and Orton can have a good match, if Bryan and Cena can have a good match, you throw these three in the same ring at the same time, and you're going to get a moment. You're going to get a WrestleMania main event. I don't want to see Daniel Bryan versus Batista versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match. That's not what we want to see. We don't want to see just a single match between Orton and Cena again. We don't want to just see a singles match between Bryan and Orton again. We want a triple threat match. Like I said, the chances of it being CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, that's a pipe dream. It's not going to manifest. It's not going to happen unless, pigs start flying. Batista, Randy Orton, now I wouldn't mind that match. And I could see why you, the fans, would mind that match, because you think Batista doesn't deserve to be in that spotlight. Batista was handed the Royal Rumble victory. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at strategic, if you're looking at the strategy, if you're looking at the storyline, if you're looking at the booking, and once again, if you're looking at what makes sense, at the end of the day, the only match that fits to be a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship would be Daniel Bryan versus John Cena versus Randy Orton, to determine who is the rightful and the true WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And that would be like killing two birds with one stone. A lot would be accomplished in one match. There is a story behind it, ladies and gentlemen. There is a concept, okay? That isn't a facade. It isn't fake. What you see is what you get between these three competitors. And like I said, you may not agree with it being John Cena and Randy Orton in the same match again. But when you throw Daniel Bryan into that match, making it a triple threat match, it provides a swerve. It gives you a whole different dynamic of the situation. And that's what I want you to grasp. And that's what I want you to hear out of this video. That is why that is the rightful WrestleMania 30 main event. Your comments, your opinions, subscribe.